This February, KHOU 11 celebrates Black History Month in the spirit of entrepreneurs. Hi there, I'm Mia Gradney, shining a spotlight on entrepreneurs both big and small. Where you spend your money, it matters. So why not explore, shop, and support a diverse mix of communities and neighborhoods that perhaps don't look like your own? Experts say supporting minority-owned businesses boost economic prosperity for all, which may explain Houston's prominence. Our beloved Bayou City ranks among the top cities in the nation with the 20th highest percentage of Black-owned businesses. That's according to a brand new analysis of census data released by the financial platform LendingTree. Houston entrepreneurs are just as diverse as the city, and so are their offerings from food to finance. And Houston's 3rd and 5th wards are a hub for those Black-owned businesses. From bustling boutiques to popular restaurants, serving up a supersized helping of culture. Here's a series of interviews from some of Houstonians' favorite Black-owned businesses.
My name is Demetrius Walker. I'm the owner and founder of Meek's Vegan Pizza. And it all started here, 200 square foot kitchen, man. Yeah, I think COVID was the perfect time to launch my business, despite the challenges. Well, back in 2021, during the pandemic, I realized after working from home for about a year, I couldn't see myself going back to the office and working for another company in which I didn't feel like I was having a direct impact on people's lives daily. And so I decided to open Meek's Vegan Pizza because I felt that people needed to have a plant-based alternative to something that they've loved and enjoyed all their lives, but they needed something that was not only good for them, but good for the environment, good for our fellow species on Earth. And so I knew it was time to open Meek's Vegan Pizza. I refused to allow my son, I have custody of, to grow up in a world in which he made the same mistakes that I did in terms of his food choices and not having alternatives that would keep him healthy. And so Meek's Vegan Pizza was something that I knew had to be done in March of 2021, and that's when I started the business. People would like a vegan pizza because they're starting to become more aware of the fact that the foods that we've been eating traditionally contain a lot of saturated fat and cholesterol, which is not very good for your health. You know, we have to be more conscious of what we're putting into our bodies. We also have to be more conscious of the environment, of how we're treating animals. There's so many different reasons why it makes sense to eat plant-based and to eat vegan. Well, I had an epiphany that if I couldn't control what I was putting in my mouth, I couldn't control what I was putting in my mind. And I realized that not only did I not wish to harm animals, I didn't wish to support harming animals, and I didn't wish to support harming myself with bad food choices. And so I went vegan overnight. Yeah. Cold turkey. And haven't turned back since. That was 5 years ago. I learned it from Google and YouTube University. Also, I read the Pizza Bible. Yeah, self-educated for the most part. Now, I will say my dad loved to make pizza growing up in the oven at home. So, you know, I always admired the fact that he'd make pizza for us. And I don't have any traditional culinary training, self-taught. I didn't go to school for this, but I have invested thousands of hours into the art of pizza making, and it's something I'm very passionate about. I'm very passionate about doing it right and making sure we have great flavor. So we got a meathead pizza. It's our most popular pizza. Features all plant-based meat. You know, vegan pepperoni, sausage, burger, and they added some black olives, spinach, jalapenos, and onion on top of that. So yeah, it's gonna be a pretty tasty pizza. And this is Meek's Vegan Cashew Cheese, my own recipe. Get that nice cheesy taste, none of the cholesterol, and it's 100% plant-based. very good. Not like any other plant-based cheese on the markets, so vegans and non-vegans alike enjoy the taste. And it's been getting me some rave reviews. You know, this water comes from Houston's own water tree in the Heights, and this water is filtered over 10 times. It goes through a tremendous, incredible filtration process in which minerals are added to it, and it's turned into alkaline water. This is 9.5 to 10.5 pH water, where you can't find this just anywhere. Has a crystal clear taste, and the taste affects everything I do in the kitchen. It affects how my dough tastes, it affects how my cheese, how my ranch tastes. And
let me ask you this, is it better than New York City water?
This is better than New York City water. It's better than New York City tap water. And that's tough, okay? I grew up in New York, you can drink the water right out the tap, but this is 10 times better than New York City tap water, and it's made right here in Houston. This is the magic ingredient. This is definitely, you know, one of the secrets of Meek's Vegan Pizza, for sure. You know, I tell them, first and foremost, if you want to eat something delicious, come to Meek's Vegan Pizza. If you want to eat something that's plant-based, come to Meek's Vegan Pizza. If you want to eat something that might change your life, come to Meek's Vegan Pizza. In the future, Meek's Vegan Pizza will be a household name. So far, we've already sold over 15,000 cholesterol-free plant-based pizzas. We plan to sell millions. Being an entrepreneur is a challenge in and of itself. You know, it's like climbing a mountain. And so as a black business, obviously there are lots of challenges in terms of there isn't an abundance of capital that's just available when you first start your business. And so you have to earn the trust of financial institutions to create those relationships. And you know, there's just so many different people and businesses and organizations that may discount your opportunity to be successful. However, I believe it's a blessing for me as a black man to be an entrepreneur, because now I finally felt freedom. You know, I finally tasted freedom. It took me 40 years, but at this point, I work for myself, I answer to myself, I decide when I'm gonna wake up, when I'm gonna go to bed, how many hours I'm gonna work, and so I finally feel that I'm free. Don't be afraid to take the first step. You never know what obstacles are going to be in your way, but all the obstacles make you stronger. Don't stop. Be persistent. Just keep going. Persevere.
So we are the couple who's made a small vegan dent in the population, which is known as Houston, Texas. My name is Courtney Lindsay, Chef Courtney Lindsay. My wife is Chastity Lindsay. She's the muse. She's the inspiration behind all of the delicious vegan food that I create. I got to keep her fed and keep her happy in order to be happy myself. So I always mess up the story of like who we really are, how we met. So I let her dip in, and I just kind of touch bases where I feel like I can fit in.
So Courtney and I met on the campus of Texas Southern University in a theater class where I was playing his wife, and we became friends. We were just friends for that whole 4 years of us going and attending school, graduated together, and then decided, oh, we love each other. And we got married, and man, the doors just opened from there. We blessed with 2 children, 2 boys, and multiple businesses, and one of our most famous being Mo Better Brews.
Man, Mo Better Brews, man. So just creating the concept. First of all, we are big Spike fans. You know, movies, especially like cultural movies, black movies. And so Mo Better Brews is obviously, Mo Better Blues is one of our favorites. But it really didn't happen like that. We were looking for like a concept or a name to name a brunch food truck that we're gonna mainly focus on coffee and breakfast and brunch food. And we just kind of was mulling over some names. And one day I was like, we sat on the couch and I was like, man, Mo Better Brews. You know, and she was like, that's it. We can stop looking. And so yeah, it was like that epiphany is just like Mo Better Brews. It was like, okay, bet, we don't have to look anymore. Like, that's the name. Now we got to finish building the concept out.
And Mo Better Brews was birthed out of a problem in Houston that we felt like as vegans, we had been vegan at that point maybe 4 or 5 years, and there was nowhere to go get vegan breakfast. We could wait until brunch and you might find some options here or there, but there was nowhere dedicated to a vegan breakfast. And so we decided to solve that problem, and we knew we wanted a certain vibe. We wanted to incorporate, me being a former DJ, wanted to incorporate vinyl and music. So we partnered with Flash G. Parks. He's an ethnomusicologist, so he curates the record shop. My husband is amazing with his vegan cuisine creations, and boom, that was the birth of Mo Better Brews.
Yeah, so coffee, vegan, and vinyl. All three of those things hit hard for us. Me being a chef, her being a former DJ, and then also the love of coffee. We wanted to make sure we found a place and developed a place that was like coffee centric, but also focused on the food, which we knew would be amazing, but also just the music piece. Music is the soundtrack of our lives. When we put on a 90s R&B playlist, me and Chad, we always look at each other every now and again and say, yep, it's the soundtrack of my 10th grade year. This is the soundtrack of my 7th year. So all of those things kind of like hit home and really blend the culture for us. In the coffee piece, we use a black-owned coffee roaster here in Houston, 3 Keys Coffee, which is amazing. We went on that page and we was like, this is what we want. This is too close to what we doing. And so, and they blend the culture, the coffee, like music, different, just like the pop culture of us, to coffee. And so when we found them, it was a perfect match for us to like do some type of collab. And so we went in, we got messed up on coffee because we just kept drinking more, like sampling, tasting. We walked out of there with the jitters, but we found a good espresso blend, and then we found a good house coffee blend, and now we have our Mo Better Brews blend. Yeah,
and it's named from the characters from Mo Better Blues, Spike Lee joint, Bleak and Indigo blend. So. Yeah. That definitely was fun to go throughout that creative process and figure that out with 3 Keys Coffee, and then coming up with the recipes and ideas for the dishes and naming them after artists and different songs that we love, and then working with Flash to curate the vinyl selection and focus on Houston legends and artists and other hip-hop soul classics. I mean, the variety is great, and then also being able to pull in those rare records as well. So, I mean, it's just it's a vibe. That's when you ask people what's it like to visit Mo Better Brews, they're gonna say it's a vibe.
It's a vibe. That's it. Yeah.
The vibe was so important to me. I wanted people to be able to walk in, people of all shades, all demographics, family friendly, all ages, to come in and feel like this was a place that they can enjoy, no matter what. The food, the music, it's always going to be something that makes everybody feel good, not just one group of people. Yeah, it's inviting. It's built around Black culture, but it's like the best of us. And, it just gives other people a glimpse of, Black people and the influence and impact that we've made on Houston historically and just the world.
Yeah, and sometimes that vibe, it really shapes a person's view on what Black culture actually looks like. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's so one-sided. If it's the news, it's something negative. If it's sports, it's just sports. But it really gives us an insight. Okay, that's a family business. The vibe is cool. The music is great. We got some oldies, some stuff that I hadn't heard in a long time. And we really we got some aunties in there. We got grannies, grandpas in there. They come have their coffee and they sit and they love
the kids running around. Yeah, something for everybody.
Yeah. And that older generation, it gives us the opportunity to like tap into them and let them know, hey, look, it's no bacon in that dish right there. There's no sausage. And they like, really? I love grits now. The grits better be right. It's like, I had somebody say, hey, whose granny is in the back cooking those grits? I said, ain't no granny, it's just me. My favorite dish would have to be the chicken fried shrooms and grits, which is the staple. It's a creamy grits. We build our own heavy whipping cream, of course, dairy-free, meat-free, and then we have our oyster mushrooms, crispy fried, just like chicken, topped, and then we top it with our trill sauce and green onions, and there you go. I mean, it's amazing. So I think, man, what it means to be a black, business family. I think that it really means much more than what people actually know. And so much more than just the surface of, oh, that's just a young black couple who happens to have a couple businesses or happen to have a food business. It really kind of speaks to people and motivates people, young and old, and across all backgrounds that, all right, cool, like it's very possible to have a dream, have a goal, have a end game, and actually execute it and see what it looks like. Everything is not 100% successful. It never is. It's always 50-50, but this gives us that opportunity to show, hey, look, this is something that we're doing, we're striving towards, and you can do it too. Young black kid, young black man, older black man, middle-aged, auntie, whoever. Like, it's still opportunities for everybody. We've seen so many people come through our food trucks, come through this restaurant and want to sit down and just kind of catch our ear for a second. We talk to them. Next thing you know, hey man, I'm about to open up that business that we talked about. And it's just so refreshing for us to be that beacon of light, or just to be like a little motivating ear, or words of encouragement to see them follow through with their dreams and their goals.
Absolutely.
Struggles are real, and that's in any business, not just black business, but also for us too. Just being, black business owners, struggles real. Sometimes people kind of struggle with who to hire, for their business, whether it be a kitchen or whether it be some other type of business. And those struggles are, what I would say is those struggles are not exclusive to any one culture. I'm pretty sure white business owners deal with the same thing of having to like kind of find employees and keep employees. That employee retention is a serious thing, but for us though, we try to take that. It's stressful, don't get it twisted. It's stressful. However, we take a more personal approach, to our employees. They're not just numbers. They're not just bodies that take up space in the kitchen. They're not just people that come in and try to make a quick buck, and if they do and express it, that's all they're doing. I understand that those people are for different seasons. But I know I identify the people that are here for the long haul, that want to help grow the business, because that's the ultimate goal, is to get people to help you grow the business. So that struggle is inevitable. The employee part, the retention, it's a lot of people that's not working, a lot of people that, are scattered out just due to, the recent pandemic. And people still trying to figure out which direction, they want to go. And so for us, if we don't have the people to help run the business, we don't have a business. And so we do our best to try to like connect with people personally, to figure out what their needs are, what their goals are. We never want to stifle anybody or keep them in a place they don't want to be in. And so we try to figure out how can we help you, but also help us get to a certain point. And I think that's how we cope with our struggle, and like the same struggles that everybody deal with in the restaurant industry. We've seen restaurants open and close in a matter of months, in a matter of a year, and we've just been blessed to be able to kind of stay in the game and stand and fight.
And ultimately, we just want to, just like we want our customers to have a great experience, we want our employees to have a great experience. We want them to be excited to come to work and be a part of this movement, because that's what it is. It's a movement. Like, people come here and they're shocked that, that it's not a hole in the wall or something and it's just like, we can do this, but we all gotta invest and pour into ourselves. And so that's ultimately the goal across the board.
Trying to open a business, again, we talk about struggles, right? So struggles come in all shapes, sizes, and colors, ethnicities, and whatnot. Sometimes, you kind of like get labeled, as a black business before you even get it out, show the community and, what we have to offer. And it's not everybody, and it's not all the time, but sometimes those kind of struggles do, show up in really ugly heads. But the type of background that Chastity and I have, we are Christian, and so we naturally want to treat people the way we want to be treated, and so. When people poke around for a fight, we won't give them the fight that they're looking for. And so we had some small little struggles, just community struggles that people were kind of questioning what our motives were in terms of bringing business or what kind of business we were going to bring to the community. But again, we opened up. We remained cordial with some of those individuals.
Brought people coffee.
Just kind of extended that olive branch. and ultimately showed them like, hey, we are here as a part of this community to, bring something that y'all don't have right now. And that's a good breakfast food. And sometimes the music might be a little loud, but come down here and join us and have your cup of coffee and get a bowl of grits on us, and just enjoy, Man, the future is looking pretty good, but of course, it's how we plan, it's how we orchestrate this thing. And so we are definitely looking to potentially open up another Mo Better Brews, maybe not in Houston, maybe in another city. We're looking to take on and tackle other concepts and projects. But it's just, it's going to take some planning and some time. So hopefully this year we'll make some headway in, some of the new projects that we're working on.
If you're ever in 3rd Ward, Museum District, visit us at Mo Better Brews, 1201 South Moore. We would love to have your visit. We're open every day except Monday, live music on Fridays, and DJs during the weekend.
My name is Ivy Lawrence Walls, and I own and operate Ivy Leaf Farms and Fresh House Grocery. So Fresh House Grocery is the first of its kind as a farmer-owned grocery store. And so our goal is to be able to bring produce to other food desert communities like Sunnyside. We have Acres Homes and we have 3rd Ward. So our goal is to expand our grocery store beyond our walls of Sunnyside so that we can bring our fresh produce to other Black neighborhoods like ours. So we opened the day before Thanksgiving of 2022, so November 2022. But we've been running the Black Farmer Box, which is a collection of produce that is put together by Black farmers in our area, and you can purchase and pick up here at the grocery store. So me and my business partner and fellow farmer, Jeremy Peaches, we got together and decided that we needed to bring a grocery store to our neighborhood. We needed an outlet for our produce, and our neighborhood and community members also needed a source of fresh produce. We were actually community funded. We put out a community fundraiser and we were able to raise $27,000 in 8 days by community led. So we're completely community operated, and that the community put their money forward so that we could be here. Success for us at Fresh House Grocery looks like our community members coming in and getting fresh produce and fresh items that are locally made right for them that week. People come from all over. We've had people come from Woodland, Spring, even Beaumont to come to our grocery store because not only are we doing something different, but we are Black farmers who have historically been underrepresented in Houston. We are Black farmers that are standing up and saying, hey, not only are we creating a food system, but we're doing it well and we're doing it for our neighbors, simply. So we do live in an under-resourced food desert community. The USDA classifies a food desert as where more than, where amount of residents live more than a mile away from the grocery store. And so creating a grocery store for our neighbors wholeheartedly is a way for us to say like, hey, we're going to bring fresh produce, whether I have to grow it or not. Like I have to grow it to bring it here, and eating local is important, and urban agriculture is important. And sometimes we get confused about urban agriculture being just eating local, but urban agriculture is the heart at bringing produce and bringing freshness to neighborhoods and systems that have been forgotten. So right now we're about a 60-40 for the things that do grow in Texas, we grow them. Right now we're in winter, so we have collard greens, mustard greens, celery, any kind of leafy green, they primarily grow in the wintertime here. And in the spring, we'll have okra, tomatoes, squash, sweet potatoes, all the things that we know for our Texas summer. And so things like, it's also part of education. Things like bananas don't even grow in America. So we have to bring those in, just like any other grocery store. Houston weather has been crazy. We've been through 2 freezes. And so producing vegetables have been very hard for us. However, we're happy that we have a community full of people who love gardening and love to eat fresh. So we're just really happy about that. But some of our struggles have been growing vegetables as well as getting our doors open. And now we're ready to market out to our community members to let them know that we are here. Yeah, so I grew up farming. I'm a 3.5 generation farmer. My dad, he works, so he's a half. But I come from a family of outdoorsmen, and the land that I utilize, my parents purchased in '99 when I was a young girl. And so the place where I farm is where I grew up. And like I was saying, this has been historically an agriculture neighborhood. So I'm from here, and this is what we've always done. I didn't know people who didn't own horses when I was growing up. So I was working at the CDC, and I worked for Memorial Hermann as an infection preventionist during COVID-19. And through the pandemic, I realized how under-resourced my neighborhood was when it comes to fresh fruit and vegetables. So if we're asking people to get better and do better, we can't do that without having food, because food, every human needs food, and quality food is what helps you get better. And so I saw this as a public health crisis, one, and two, something that I could easily obtain and work at. So I started by giving out vegetables to my neighbors. I partnered with other farmers like Jeremy, and we really got something together. U of H did a study for the grocery store. U of H did a study, and we were actually on the news talking about it, where they looked at produce in food desert communities as well as well-resourced communities, and found that food in under-resourced communities like Sunnyside had higher levels of gastrointestinal bugs and different types of bacteria and viruses in the food that is inside of the grocery store. Because it sits on shelves longer, it is not high quality when it gets there, so it's deteriorating on the shelves, which in turn creates more health problems for people in our community. And so Jeremy and I decided that we were gonna get ourselves together. We're gonna use the knowledge from this study, because oftentimes we know the stories, right? We know exactly what is happening, but until research is put behind it and number and data, the whole world doesn't know the bigger picture. And so we collected ourselves together in order to create Black Farmer Box and to create Fresh House Grocery, so that we can be the resource for healthy, safe food. I would say as a Black farmer, it's commonly represented for us to have to give our produce away for free, or that we're inside of food access and food equity. There are a lot of nonprofits here in Houston who are working on food equity but don't have a way in because they're not actually a part of the community that they're serving. And so we face a lot of issues when it comes to major grants or large grants given to other organizations to do the work that we're doing. It has been, when you think about farmers, you think about the farmers markets. There are no farmers markets in our neighborhood. And the challenges that we face really are from nonprofits who are stating they're doing the work in our communities and receiving the money to do it. I would say that there really aren't any pain points when it comes to the actual business of our organization. We've done very well for ourselves. We want to keep it intimate and close, but our goal is to be able to establish ourselves in other neighborhoods. We're essentially like your mom and pop general store, going back to the ways of how we ate, where you know your farmer, you know your grocery store owner, you know the families. And so that is our goal. So I would say our goal is expansion into other Black neighborhoods like Acres Homes, and particularly we're working with Communities for Better Health, which is an amazing nonprofit. And Black United Fund Texas, Buffed, they are another great agriculture nonprofit. And we're really trying to bring that support there, because there are a lot of federal dollars, there are a lot of community dollars and city dollars that we're missing out on, because we haven't been able to tell our story. Farming in agriculture in Houston has historically been Black. Sunnyside has historically been an agriculture neighborhood. Acres Homes is an agriculture Black neighborhood. From the 1920s here in Sunnyside, farmers have lived here. We were the country folks, right? And so it is beautiful to still see folks riding on their horses weekly. I mean, kids ride horses like their bikes out here in Sunnyside and South Park. And so really telling those stories in a way that bring about the empowerment, because oftentimes we are subjugated to the words of being food desert communities. And we are much more than just being a food desert community. Under-resourced is a better term, and food deserts are created systematically. There's no reason why we don't have a grocery store here. We have one major grocery store for 20,000 residents, does not make sense. So us stepping in and doing what we can as farmers to feed our neighbors is really important. I would say if you're looking for ways to support us, check us out at blackfarmerbox.com. You can subscribe to our Black Farmer Box and receive a weekly box of produce, grains, and meat from farmers and ranchers. You can support us by sharing our story. You can stop in and see what we have going on. And we have future events, and check us out for our restaurant, because we're bringing healthy, safe food to our neighborhood. I believe above all else, it is important that we stand up and we create community with our own neighbors versus going out of our own zip code to serve. There's a local farmer and there's a local gardener right in your own zip code that is looking for a hand. And so I would say above all else, look for where produce is grown in your neighborhood and support that fully.
The food offerings, they are fabulous. But there's so much more from Black Houston creatives selling their one-of-a-kind merch and goods too. Here's a closer look at what they sell and why.
What's up, man? My name is J.L. Malone. I'm a film producer. So if you ask me what my trade is, I actually went to school for communications and film. And so being a film producer in a city like Houston is a lot different than a film producer in LA, right? And so you have to figure out different ways, creative ways to make money. So how we started Black Market, I actually started with 7 vendors in the hallway of my film studio. People were doing markets in Silver Street Sawyer Yards at the time. So I kind of ripped that, right? I took those ideas and did it for our community, the Black community, vendors who didn't get that same quality of standard when it comes to marketplaces, and took that level of standard and excellence and applied that to Black Market. I think being able to see, Sawyer Yards used to have their second Saturday markets. I think it's still going today. And I actually went to Sawyer Yards and say, hey, I have this idea for a market. And what they wanted me to do at the time, I don't think I even told anybody this on wax before. They actually asked me to collaborate with the second Saturday market at Sawyer Yards. And I was like, no, I really think this is something that can live on its own. And so that's what we did. We didn't ask permission, no red tape. Providing opportunities for these small businesses to have a space, a safe space for Black-owned businesses to be able to network, sell products, have fun, come out, walk your dog, bring your entire family, and support Shop Black, Buy Black. So we started off with 7 vendors in our hallway, and now we have more than 10,000 Black-owned businesses and entrepreneurs in our database here locally and across the nation. And so we used to tell our vendors, hey, you can go from a 6-foot table to a storefront. And so instead of just saying that, we actually did it ourselves. And that's why we're standing right here at the Pearland Town Center at the Black Market Retail, right? Not only you can come and vend at our events, not only can you come and vend at our events, but you can actually be in our retail space. You can apply online, be able to have a product or idea, see if it works in front of our community right here in Pearland. So we've only been in the retail business for about 15 months now, right? And so we learn new things every single day. But as we learn, our vendors also learn the process about what does it look like to be next to the Children's Place or Victoria's Secret and Macy's, right? How much am I bringing in a year? That way they can take that knowledge and that data and to be able to get into stores like Target and Walmart and different things like that. And so it's really like a small business incubator here, right? With a purpose. And so every single day, we're just open to learning. We don't act like we know it all, because we don't. We're a community, we're a small business that supports other small businesses. We're a community of makers trying to find a way to make it in America. You gotta be confident. You gotta take risk and leap. Being a kid from Pearland, I was able to see a lot of different things. My mom has been very successful in her career, worked for IBM for 27 years, and now she currently works for Chevron. So seeing her and her work ethic, she was able to be the one to do the 9 to 5 every single day to provide for us. So next generation is me, right? I'm the one that's gonna take the risk. I can only stay at a job for 2 years, right? So I'm the generation that's out here taking the risk, for myself and my community to see if we can do better things, see if we can achieve what we call Black excellence. A lot of people go into business to make money, right? And we're in America, that's our thing too. The American dream is to go from nothing to something. But being a Black-owned business, it's important for our community to see me come in and open up this door, right? To see me come in and create these products, bring these products, see that they work,
It's important that we are able to build these things, because usually we only see ball players, we only see entertainers, and that's what we want to be. But we're inspiring our community, we're inspiring the kids in our community to say, hey, now you can be like J.L. Malone, you can be a business owner, and not only say, hey, it's about me, but it's about my community. So when I get an opportunity, I'm not only walking in that door, but I'm bringing my entire community with me. And that's what Black Market is. Once we get into places like the Pearland Town Center or the Houston Galleria, it's not just me walking in the door. I'm bringing my sales associates, I'm bringing these business owners that we vetted and we know that are high quality Black-owned businesses, and we're bringing them to the community. So you can have that level of quality that you can't get anywhere else. It's a different type of feeling when I'm talking to our vendors and they're able to put their products in the store, whether it's apparel or jewelry or skincare, right? And they see their products being bought by strangers. It's like, hey, this is something that I created, in my garage. I had an idea in my kitchen, and now it's in the forefront. Right here in the brick and mortar, and people are enjoying our products. It's an amazing feeling to see people support, but not only support, it's an amazing feeling to have things that people need and want to be able to support because they're quality products that they can use and they can show off. And hey, I'm about to go out on a Friday night, you can come to Black Market. Hey, it's Christmas, it's holidays, it's Valentine's Day, you can come to Black Market and get these items. And not only are you getting great items, but you're supporting your community. You see a product from Black Market out in the city of Houston or outside the state of Texas, you're like, hey man, where you get that from? And just kind of see what they're doing, where they got it from, and start that conversation. And then at the end of the conversation, you can let them know who you are. But it's an amazing thing that you see it everywhere, especially inside the community. If I'm in the morning going to get me something to eat, I'll see somebody in line with a Black Market item on. I'm talking to them, I'm talking them up. I'm asking them how they feel about it, right? Does it still last? And just really doing the work that it takes to not only be a business that's here for a minute, a pop-up, but a business that's here for a long time in this community. We want to be here for 20, 30 years and be able to evolve and grow. And that's what we want to do for these small businesses. We want to see them grow and scale, and Black Market be their first place where they get that taste. We actually have 8 markets this year. So we're doing less markets now, but we're doing bigger events. So for this February, Black History Month, we actually have 5 markets. At Carbach Brewery and Avenida Plaza, right between GRB and Discovery Green. And so that's February 5th, 11th, 18th, 25th, and the 26th. And so at every single market that we have 20 plus vendors, food trucks, live music and entertainment. It's just a vibe and what the culture is about. As a kid from Pearland and being in the Pearland Town Center, being our first location, I used to walk these streets, man, and go in and find these different business owners and say, hey, how did you do it? And so it was always a vision. I didn't know how I would get there. I didn't have a mentor. And so it was all about the work for me. And my dad used to say, you're only as good as your last game. And for me, when we did events, I was only as good as our last market. And so we want to make sure we put our best foot forward every single time. And that's what led us to the retail space. So it's cool to pop up 4 hours, bring out 2,000 people, have a great time. But I wanted a place where we can go 7 days a week, have those vibes still happening, and shop Black. Black Market is very simple. A lot of people say, hey man, why are you always coming up with these simple titles? We also created, as a film producer, I also created the National Black Film Festival. So I'm the founder and president of the National Black Film Festival. Very simple. Black Market. First of all, the word black has always been like the black sheep of the family. It's always been a negative term, right? The word Black Market in general is a negative term. Being Black in America, I'm 6'4", 250 pounds. So people see me walking down the street and driving a car. In America, they might think something else because of TV, news, radio, everything else. So we want to flip that perception on all angles with the word black market. We want to flip what you think. And so when you come in, we want you to feel those vibes and the culture. We want you to pick up these black-owned items and see the quality and feel the quality of these items, knowing that they work. And so every single day, with every breath that I have, is to change the narrative of what Black Americans go through. Black Market, we're open 7 days a week right here in the Pearland Town Center. Come check us out. Hey, you might see me, you might see Mike, you might see China, Natasha. We got some great employees here, sales associates here. They're just amazing. So come shop with us. We always have something new here at the Black Market.
My name is Kristen Breckenridge, and my business is Third Eye View. We're a community-based eyewear brand in the Edo area. We specialize in networking and collaborating with local nonprofits to provide vision care, contact fittings, eyewear exams for the less fortunate, and professional and prescriptions and fashionable frames for everyone. We have a frame to fit any face. Why this business? Because I feel like we provide a service that is kind of untouched. If you go to a standard Warby Parker, Sam's Club, prescriptions run you like $600-700 easily. And a lot of people, that's just not a feasible, amount for glasses. Like, you need them to see. That's one of your major organs that you have to take care of. And I think vision problems attribute to a lot of issues that we have, whether it be health-wise or learning-wise. Like, it could, result in a possible disability if it's not taken care of soon enough. So kind of just putting a spotlight on conditions that aren't as common as others, and then helping people and providing that service in the long run, I think is what makes us special. There's no one else doing that. You can have a million eyewear brands, but do you have an eyewear brand that is, paying attention to the underlying effect of things and really just being amongst the community, staying on the ground? Like, that's us. That's what sets us apart from our competition, I think. And the name itself, it plays on the concept of the inner eye, and we feel like that attributes to like our brand philosophy, but what we stand for as well. I think one of the greatest experiences about creating a showroom like this, like a pop-up shop, is it's almost like it's teamwork. Like, it's full service teamwork. When you are in entrepreneurship, when you're taking all of that on, you need help in more ways than one. So I feel like not only were we helping one another, and of course every brand in here is a woman-owned brand. We got one guy, but every brand in here is unique in their own way. They do the same thing. Like, they have a mission, they have contributions, they're very active with what they choose to do. So I feel like it cuts down on the cost, for one, because overhead is insane, especially when it comes to us, just being in a day and age where social media takes over a lot as far as like advertising and marketing. Nothing will ever replace that, like, face-to-face, one-on-one interaction. And honestly, that's probably our biggest attribute on the side of marketing. Like, the look on someone's face when they're trying on something that is not typically, their go-to, or the feeling that they get from, a fresh set of lashes and then coming over here and getting an outfit and grabbing some glasses, and as they're planning vacations or whatnot, like, just feeling like that you're helping this person plan out intricate parts of their life. Like, that's important to us. Like, we desire to continue to have that type of relationship with our customers and consumers. So, it's easy to get caught up in like the internet hype of things. We don't want to do that. We don't want to just follow the trends all the time. Like, we want to continue to be a staple, like a household name within people. We have customers that have been with us for well over 10 years. And they're like our day ones. They stop by, we'll have lunch, they'll pick up something new, they'll tell a friend to tell a friend. So that's important, and that's something that we wanna hold like close to us as we grow and evolve. So having a space like this for other brands to do the same thing, grow, to evolve, to learn from one another, because there are some people who, whatever information they go get, they come back and share. And we try to implement it into each other's businesses. We work together on a lot of things. That type of support system, that type of, family kind of network is necessary when you're dealing with entrepreneurship. So why wouldn't we, do it right here, create that space? We will be celebrating 10 years this October. So a decade long of trial and error, but nonetheless a fruitful and abundant journey. I wouldn't change any of it. I feel like our biggest strides have probably been faced with, of course, like the pandemic. That was something that we were completely unprepared for. In the nature of our business, you're putting things on your face, which are, directly in correlation with respiratory and everything that COVID affected us, or how COVID affected us. So it taught us how to pivot. It taught us how to reimagine ourselves and just adapt to changes. Like that's one of, change is what we aspire to evoke. So I feel like it was kind of necessary for us to just, figure out how to navigate this new world, because it's always going to be, change is the only thing that's constant. We're always going to face those type of things. So I feel like if we just, we took it to the chin, we kept pushing, consistency has been the key. Even if I'm not, if I don't know how to do something, I'm going to figure it out. And whatever happens along the way to help me, complete that task, like I'm super grateful and open to it. So COVID was definitely a challenge. Just capital in a sense when it comes to adequate funding for things that we aspire to do. We want to initially integrate a virtual try-on system for our website. That's quite expensive, but it will allow people to be able to try on the frames, without having to physically come into the store. So it's like things like that will attribute to our growth that are a little challenging when it comes to like funding and figuring out ways to do it. But I feel like we're up for the challenge. Now we're working on getting some wholesale clients kind of locked in throughout the area as well. So you'll see us in like other local boutiques, probably, of course, by spring, summer. And I don't know, maybe, a lot of our demographic, even though Houston is our home, we have a lot of traffic throughout LA, New York, even Italy, France. Like you'd be surprised about our international fan base too. So I don't know, maybe we'll be working on the Third Eye View showroom somewhere overseas or, in a big city. I would definitely look forward to that. By the beach, I could see people doing that, getting their surfboards, getting their glasses, having the time of their lives. To be honest, we have scaled tremendously, like within the last 3 years. We've had opportunities with some really great brands that have catapulted us into like different sectors. We've worked with Kendra Scott. We've got something upcoming with Alice and Olivia, Google, Visa, like great names, great brands, great people. I don't see that stopping anytime soon, just because we're in our momentum right now, and I want to keep that steam kind of going. Like I feel like we're at the point where we're a well-oiled machine, so it's just like, we're going down the track. We want to continue to work together with brands that are in alignment with what we offer. We have a social responsibility. We have a fashion responsibility. So combining all of those efforts with like-minded people, I want to continue to do that 10, 20 years from now. I want to continue like evoking change within people when it comes to how they see vision problems and how they're affected by it. Even as far as like teaming up with like local KIPP charter schools to, do a mobile version of what we offer in-house, where people can get their vision exams on site and their prescriptions can be facilitated throughout the lab in a faster time than it would with someone else, where it's directed towards children from, ages 8 to 16. Just all of those things. I see us still sticking to our core, but just doing it on a much bigger scale. Like streamlining everything that we offer now completely in the next 20 years. I don't see that stopping at all. And I pray that it continues to happen. It makes me feel like I am like a superhero in a sense, like I'm doing something in this world right. So knowing like what's ahead is very encouraging for me, because there was once a point where I didn't, foresee any of this that's happening now. And lo and behold, here I am being interviewed by KHOU, and it's a domino effect. So I don't doubt that it's going to happen. I truly use that like as my, I guess kind of like my compass, my business compass, because I feel like I want to continue to do great things with Third Eye View. And it does inspire me to be a better businesswoman, to be a better boss in a sense. Like I want to keep those things up, and I want to grow in all areas of my entrepreneur journey. So, absolutely, I think being listed as one of Beyonce's top Black businesses was like mind blowing. So that was kind of like our cherry on top, where we were like, oh, we made it. Like, Houston, like what more could you ask for than that type of notoriety, or someone just like clapping for you for your contributions to this world and to your community? Like, it reassures us that what we're doing is awesome and we want more of it. I feel like my ancestors are rejoicing to be a Black-owned business in this community where there's so much history, especially when it concerns just entrepreneurship and strides and remarks that Black people have made within this area. It's almost like a torch has been passed down in a sense, and I don't take that lightly. I feel like it's a complete honor to just, continue. It's like a each one teach one thing. That's kind of my motto with it. Like, that's my sole responsibility, in life, to help someone do something, create some type of change. So why not start here? I could have easily gone to River Oaks, easily gone to the Galleria, but there's something special about doing it amongst people who look like you, people who, they look at you and they get inspired. They can relate to you. So that holds a special place here, to be able to do it here. This is success to me. I think my definition is not like textbook. It is freedom. It is genuine happiness in what I do every day. I have both of those together in Third Eye View. I do not work a, typical 9 to 5. I work when I open my eyes to when I close my eyes. And being able to just have so much fulfillment in this craft, like, that's success to me. As long as my mama's proud, like, that's success to me, like, she gets to beam when she hears about me. Hey, you got an interview, or you're doing this and you got to pop up. Like, that just, like, it's that like warm and fuzzy feeling that I've amounted to something. I've arrived in, my mission in life in a sense. So freedom, happiness, being able to do what I love, because then it's not work. I don't look at it as work. I look at it as exactly what it is. Feel free to follow us. Feel free to swing by, grab your mimosa, shop. We won't hurt your pockets too bad, but we'd love to have, newcomers become oldcomers. We'd love to have you guys by, and very appreciative of this opportunity. I love that we're in a position where we're able to just let people know who we are and what we're doing and how easily it is for them to reach us.
Name is Chris Green, owner of fitness brand Mean Green Training. Native of Houston, Texas, from the east side of Houston. Started this brand in 2009, 14 years ago, man, and we haven't looked back since. So at Mean Green, we're a group training, right? But we give a personal training feel to it. With us specifically, we want people to feel good and look good. But at the end of the day, we know people want to look good naked. So we want to help people to get more muscle tone, but also lose body fat. with the combination of healthy eating. So with us empowering, being consistent at doing that, I believe that's why people know us as Mean Green. You know, we have a lot of things moving. Our biggest thing is not just being local, it's being able to expand beyond Houston. So we have a gym in the making for our third location, but also online training with our Daily Sweat. We've been able to connect with not just people in Houston, but all over, and that's been a big passion of mine as well. For me, my basketball journey developed this. From middle school to high school to collegiate to semi-pro, trying my best to get to the league, didn't work that way. I truly believe God has something more in store for me, which was to empower the city of Houston. So now, taking things that I've learned, principles, systems, and creating what we now have in Mean Green has been a matchless emotion. So, you know, I believe the Afro-American community, sometimes we overlook the importance, right? Obviously, we want to look a certain way, but we also want to be a certain way internally. True numbers, black men die by heart disease by the age of 55. For me, being a black male, I wanted to change the narrative of that. And again, that goes not just for, obviously, the African-American community, but all nationalities. So it's a big passion of mine to make people healthy and not just look good, but also feel good. You know, being a black business owner, if I was able to put a word to it, I'm just honored to be one, right? You think of ancestors, the civil rights movement, people that literally gave me the platform that I have now makes me push even harder, right? Not being judged because of my skin color, I'm being judged because of my effort, my integrity, my empowerment. So again, you gotta go back to MLK's ancestors. For them to do what they're doing, that's why it makes me a little emotional even thinking of that. You know, I think the biggest thing for me, and I hope this is what people get when they come to Mean Green, is acceptance, it's love, it's consistency, overall empowerment. We help people to believe in their goals. We help people to be empowered to achieve and ultimately receive, but not only just receive, but protect that peace, protect that joy, and that's why I believe people are with us for years at a time. You know, if you've never been to Mean Green, it's a culture that is hard to explain in words. If I could say something to make it perfect for you to come out, the experience speaks for itself. From our gyms to our boot camps across the city, obviously online training, but if you haven't connected with us, we'll be honored to connect with anybody that has the passion of growing.
This is such a small sample of Houston's Black-owned businesses. You can find out much more in our online directory of Black-owned businesses you can now support. Be sure to check them out at KHOU.com.